Good morning and welcome to a day in my life. It is Tuesday, September 20th, and this day in my life doesn't have a theme so much as the theme of me getting back on track, back to it. I sort of find myself, not sort of, I very much so find myself very motivated and inspired to do all the things I say I'm gonna do and follow through on a lot of my routines when I know I'm gonna be filming them. So since I was out of town over the weekend, got back yesterday, and have a lot to get to today, I thought it would be a good day to bring you along, keep myself inspired to do all of the things that I need to get to today, and also share all of those things with you, as well as head over to the UPS store. So I mentioned this in, I think, a live. I do a weekly live on Wednesdays. Maybe I mentioned it somewhere else, but I am planning to review as many goal planners as I can that I think would be valuable for you to see before the end of the year. I will talk about my main goal planner that I use, the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets, and then I will definitely talk about the Moxie Life, which is another great goal planner option. But I know there's a lot more than that, especially some more budget conscious ones. So I ordered a ton last week and a bunch of them have already arrived over the weekend. And so I'm gonna go pick those up. I'm planning to sprinkle 1 or 2 reviews of the goal planners in each of the day in the life videos over the next month or so. So we will head to the UPS store, pick up all the packages that came in over the weekend, and I will share at least 1, if not 2 of those with you today. All right, so first thing we need to do is get all set up for the day. So this is my Amplify Daily Planner. I use the undated, which allows me to make way better use of this planner than if I were to get the dated one, because I don't use it every single day. So like I said, today is Tuesday, September 20th. And this is my weekly planning pad. Pad's not the right word because I just print this out. If you watched my last Plan With Me video, I talked a little bit more about this. But I did all of my weekly planning actually before we left to go out of town. I did a whole video on this once. Like I did a day in the life where I was really focused on giving you tips to help get back into the swing of things after being out of town. And one of the tips I did give during that video was plan before you leave, because it really is helpful that I don't have to actually plan out my week, that I did that before I left. That said, there's something that's already changing on my plan for the week that I'm gonna rearrange a little bit today, but I'm so glad that I have it, and it's not a big enough deal that I feel the need to completely rearrange or like redo one of these weekly plans. So let's get started. I got up at about 7, which is normal for me on Tuesdays because dance goes later on Monday nights. So I'm in the middle of my AM routine now, planning out my day as part of my AM routine. And right now I've cut some things out, so my AM routine takes about 2.5 hours, although it will take me a little bit longer today since I am filming bits of it, right, the intro clip, filming this. However, I'm also gonna cut my workout short. Maybe we'll talk about that more when we get to that part of my morning. And then I'm not gonna put anything kind of in between there because I have a call at 10:30. And so if I finish up my morning routine with plenty of time to start working on some of my to-dos before this call, great, I will start working on those to-dos. If not, that's totally okay also. So then after that call, I'm gonna just use my Zig dot marker to write down all of my to-dos. So the big thing that's getting pushed today is filming. I'm not planning to film today. The biggest reason is my hair is gross from dance last night and it's gonna get gross again tonight. So it never really made sense for me to wash it so it looks nice for filming and then get it gross again tonight. It makes sense to wash it tonight after dance and then film Wednesday, and if it has to carry over into Thursday, because I have a lot of videos I'm filming for October, then it carries over into Thursday. So what I am gonna do today, well, I'm gonna prep videos. That is something I do every week. And then I am gonna film the top, well, actually the first thing I'm gonna do before that is paint my nails. I don't mind for more casual videos like vlogs for my nails not to be painted during this portion, but for the top down portion of the goals videos, I want my nails to be painted. So I'm gonna paint my nails, then I'm gonna film the top down versions. If you watch my goals videos, I always do like a top down version of me writing out my goals for the quarter and the month. And so I'm gonna film at least those portions today. That will save me a little bit of time tomorrow, and my hair doesn't need to look nice for those. And then the other thing I want to get to today that wasn't originally on the schedule is finishing up some of the HB90 stuff. So I have mentioned this in a few places, but HB90 is a project management system, goal setting system created by Sarah from Heart Breathings, and I took her course last week. I got through all the videos even over the weekend at my parents'. I feel good about that, but there was some stuff that I needed to do as part of Friday's session that I couldn't do not like at on the road. Like I have to be home for it. So I'm hoping to take an hour or two today to kind of finish that up and feel good and ready to go for the quarter. Then I will go ahead and put communication, and then can I squeeze one more dot? I am trying to make some TikToks. No, I haven't posted any yet. Although, heck, by the time you see this video, maybe I will have posted some. It's the same name. It's Plan with Laken on TikTok if you're there. And then I have a call with someone at 4 for something business related. And then hopefully I'm gonna finish all of this before that call, because as soon as that call is over, I really need to start like kind of thinking about getting ready for dance. I am gonna leave probably a little bit earlier than I normally do, and I have to pack up all of my costumes. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get to later in the day. And then, can you see that? Be a routine afterwards when I get home. Okay, so let's go to some of the other to-dos that I have to do today. If you watched my last plan with me, I showed my little to-do notebook that is working so far. So what I'm doing basically, I'm not going to show you what's behind this because there's some things on there that are personal, but I have the first page is the things I do on the same day every week. And then each week I'm making a master to-do list, half personal, half business, on the subsequent pages. So for Tuesdays, I have communication on all of these, so I don't forget it, but I did already put it in the day. But I definitely need to practice before dance tonight. And I need to do the fantasy recap. I'm the commissioner for fantasy football, so I need to do the recap my league. And then I need to meal plan. That is for sure has to get done today. And I feel like I may have explained this once before, but one of the reasons why these things don't go over here in the actual calendar, even though they are important, the biggest reason is that they likely are only going to take 5 minutes or so. The meal plan may be a little bit longer, but these are kind of smaller tasks, not things that need to get scheduled in the actual schedule. The other reason is these are all personal things, and these all can easily get done when I'm taking a break from work. So I've mentioned before, I talked about it more in my favorites video, that I've been using the Pomodoro technique for work, where work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Well, when I take a 5-minute break, if I do need to like go to the bathroom and fill up my water, I do that. I also always check social media. But if I have time as part of my break, I will pivot and do something personal. To me, the 5-minute break is really from work, not from like being productive, if that makes sense. So that is when those things will likely get done today. Oh, and then of course, like the whole purpose of what we talked about is that I need to go to the UPS store. And then I need to also share the goal planner with you. So we'll just put review here. It's like the whole point of this day in the life, like. While I've got the camera in top-down mode, I figured I would go ahead and update these. This is my countdown board that I keep on my desk. It really, hi Charlie, she missed us and wants some snuggles. You can also probably hear her purring. She's so loud. Anyways, this is my countdown board. Definitely keeps me motivated. Although right now we don't have any major trips planned, and so I don't feel like I have quite as much to include on this board. Like I don't really feel the need to include Christmas and my birthday on here, but that's like I couldn't really think of anything else. So anyways, that's what we've got. So the dance show, and then it's been a while since I've updated this clearly. And then 95 days until Christmas. And then, oh my goodness, 159 days until we move to Chicago. And that's even an estimate. That's not a for sure. That's like I think we're moving that day, but I haven't officially planned any of that. And then this one takes a big jump because I didn't have another one. So it's been in the 200s for a lot longer than it needed to be. And then my birthday is 186. Normally I put like trips and travel and things like that on there, but we don't have any big trips planned because we just have some other priorities right now. So then I will just put all the extra numbers down here at the bottom. I've had people ask me so many times, what is the big number at the bottom? And it is not a number. It is just all of the extra numbers that are not being used right now. All right, the next step in my morning routine is to read. By the way, I do have a full morning routine video where I go through every step of my morning routine. I did have someone recently request for me to redo that. And it's funny because the request said even if it hasn't changed, but it hasn't really changed. So maybe I will save that for Vlogmas and do kind of more an in-depth morning routine then. But I probably won't do it in the next few months because I am gonna be focused on getting these goal planner reviews out, but I do have a whole video on my morning routine. So the next step is reading, which is sometimes a step that I will cut out if I am trying to save time, I'm running behind, or I know I have a busy day. But it's also the time that I sit on the couch and finish drinking my coffee before I work out, like that last boost of energy. As you can see, my cup, I have a lot of my coffee left because I have been skipping other parts of my morning routine this morning and have been either filming or trying to power through. I just have not been sipping on my coffee. So there is no way that I am going to read for that entire cup of coffee, which means what I'm probably gonna do is read for a little bit, press pause in my morning routine, and then go do some work before I move on to the next part, which is working out. I also wanted to share with you what I was reading, which is a reread of a book that I absolutely love. It was probably my #1 book of 2021, and I read it about the same time last year. I read it after I'd already made the decision to work for myself full time, but before I actually did it. And so I do think that rereading it with the mindset of a full-time entrepreneur working for myself full time is incredibly beneficial. So if you've not checked out this book, I highly recommend. It is We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. And I feel like every female, really every human, would benefit from this book. This is also the time that we get to sit on the couch and snuggle. Yes, I know. I also realized, y'all, the one other thing I was gonna put on my list for today was unpack. It's my suitcase from yesterday. I literally haven't even opened it yet. All right, so I pressed pause my Routinery app on the workout. Again, while I finish my coffee, I'm gonna go do some work. Probably what I'm gonna end up doing, because it is about 8:15. Running a little bit behind. I've been kind of moving slowly. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay paused and I'm gonna work until this call at 10:30, and then kind of use that call as a break, go to UPS, and then jump back into my morning routine, finish my workout and get ready for the day, and then do everything else. So I'm gonna switch over to the app I use to track my Pomodoro methods, which is just Focus Keeper. I don't really care about any of the other tracking. I just literally use the timer. So I will press play and get to work, and then when it's done, I will make sure, this is my like page for my HB90 planner, I'll make sure that I check off which task I was doing. I am trying really hard not to worry about being perfect about this. Like if I usually use my threshold as like whatever took the majority of the block, right? So let's say I use one, so prepping videos usually takes me about 2. So let's say I use 1, I get through most of it, and then I use 15 minutes of the next one for prepping videos. I will just check that off, but then I will continue working on something for that last 10 minutes, but that check mark will go under prep videos. Vice versa, let's say I only need 7 minutes of my next cycle to finish the prepping the videos, then I will move on to something else, and that something else will get that check mark for that section. Again, it is not a perfect science, and I feel like Sarah has said that a lot, and I'm just really trying to embrace that. But doing something, time tracking and using the timer, is better than nothing, and definitely is keeping me more productive. All right, the other thing I do, which I have talked about in Playing with Me's before, is I also track the total number of Pomodoro cycles with tallies on my actual daily planner. So what I'm doing is over here on this, and how many I have is over here. So I did 2 of the prep, but I actually did not quite finish it because I'm waiting for something from my editor. There was just one tweak I wanted to make to a video. So I'm going to have to probably spend another cycle on that at some point, and that is also part of it being an estimate, right? I estimate that it's going to take me 2 per week. Some weeks, if the videos are shorter, it might take me less. This week, there was an issue and the videos were longer, so it's going to take me more. So I am going to go ahead and jump. I'm going to save the nails for likely for a break. So I am going to go ahead and jump to working on finishing up my HB90, which includes making some sticky notes for my Kanban board. I don't want to show you everything on my Kanban board because there's some things on here, like behind the scenes things. I've talked about this before in a video. It's still working great. I am changing the size of my sticky notes though, because these sticky notes, while I do like how they fit on my Kanban board, you can't get them in big packs. You can only get them in small packs, and it just gets pricey and it adds up. So I jumped to this size of sticky note, which is going to be a little bit bigger. Oh, got bent there. It is going to fit like perfectly here, but if I have 4, normally I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? They're gonna have to be like layered on top of each other, which is fine. And I have 4 colors here, but this pack, like per sticky note, was so much less expensive than the little one. So I am gonna work on making my sticky notes for Q3. So I failed. Playing with Laken failed today. Also, there's a dress still hanging up because I had, hi kitty. I went to an event yesterday straight after coming home from the airport. So I had dresses ready to go. Hi, sweet girl. So I finished my 4th like Pomodoro cycle, which if you don't know how it works, after you do 4 25-minute cycles, you get like a longer break. And so it was gonna be like 10:05 right when I finished that last one. I was like, perfect timing. I will take a longer break. I'll go eat some breakfast before my call at 10:30. So the first thing I did when the timer went off was like go check Instagram. Of course, that's the first step that I take. And I had a message from the person that I had a meeting with at 10:30. I was like, are you joining? And I went and looked at my calendar and it was at 10, not 10:30. So I don't know why last week when I made my weekly plan, I wrote it at 10:30 instead of 10. It was actually at 10. So I immediately hopped on that call, apologized profusely for being late, and now it's about 10:40. We ran over a little bit, which I very much appreciate her flexibility. So that worked out, and that didn't feel like a break at all. I don't know why I thought it would. So I am gonna take an actual break now. Hi, Charlie. Just gonna sit there on my laptop. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, I'm gonna take a break and eat some food and probably give some more pets. Yes. All right, extended my break a bit and got my nails painted. I know I've talked about before, but the brand I use and love is called Dazzle Dry. Here is these are all the colors that I have now. I love them so much. I have this one row of just classic nail polish, mostly just for my toes because I don't always want to go through all the Dazzle Dry steps on my toes. I do love my nail polish container from Amazon, but I wish it was a little bit bigger because I always want to store this thing and it doesn't quite zip up if I put it in there. I know that Taylor from Tattoo Teacher Plans found a bigger one, like similar to mine. I love the bottom part. I just wish the top part was bigger because then I also have this like extra bag that's got my nail polish remover and I end up throwing this in there. Anyways, I wish I just had a bigger one that she had purchased. So let me grab my planner. Also, in case you didn't know it, toothpicks are great for doing your nails. And like if you do end up touching the cuticle, just like cleaning that up a bit. I can't remember where I learned that, but it was a great tip. Okay, so nails are done. It is about 11:30. I'm gonna be honest with myself. My workout's not happening today. That is the problem when I put it off. I put it off and I put it off and I put it off, and then it just doesn't happen. And so if I don't do it first thing in the morning, it doesn't happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and call my morning routine done. So moving on to the rest of this, I'm gonna start with filming top down now that my nails are done, and then also go ahead and finishing the prep of the video from earlier. Okay, I got through 2 more cycles. I got the prep work done and filming top down, and then I also did a couple of my little personal things. And then Sam and I went and grabbed lunch. We actually went to this new deli that just opened up that is in our neighborhood. We'd never been to before, but a friend of mine from dance yesterday who also lives in this neighborhood said that it was delicious and we should check it out. So since I have not gone grocery shopping yet after being out of town, that is what we did. We both went and got like a big long hero sandwich and ate half for lunch, and we'll eat half for dinner. So it was just a really quick and easy way. It also got us out of the house. It was so nice outside, and now we're good for dinner as well. All right, I'm finally making my way over to UPS to pick up all the packages. I think I have like 4 or 5 packages to pick up. So I brought my big bag with me, or it was 6. I forgot I had also ordered some paper on Amazon. I get this like kind of thicker cardstock paper, and now that I've been printing out my HB90 planner, it's loud here. I've been using a lot of it, so that is like a big heavy box. And then there's one other thing in there. There's 4 planners, 4 goal planners. I'm not gonna review all of them in this day in the life. And then there's one other package in there that I'm not sure what it is. The 5th box was also a planner. So I have 5 planners here to review. I have one other one that I'm expecting, and then that's the 6th that I'm gonna review. I think I'm only gonna include 1 in this video, and some of the future videos might be doubled up. So go ahead and subscribe if you wanna see some of these goal planner reviews. But a lot of these are, like I said, I think I ordered these last Tuesday, and they are all already here. So you can get all of these very quickly. It's not like the Power Sheets with the Moxie Life where the turnaround time is gonna be longer. So there's already a lot of other things going on in this vlog. So I'm only gonna do one. I don't even know which one to pick. There's so many choices here. Oh, Inkwell Press, this one. I feel like, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take them all out and see if there's like some similar ones that I can like lump together, and if there's one that stands out on its own, that's the one I'm gonna review today. Okay, this is the one I'm gonna start with because honestly, this is the one that I am the most excited about. I actually reviewed this planner a long time ago. Like it was probably almost 2 years ago, and I don't know how much of it has changed. I'm not actually concerned with like what's different or what's new. What I am concerned, or what I am excited about with reviewing this planner again, is how my mindset has changed. What I've learned about goals, what I've learned about myself, what I've learned about our community. And one of the things I remember saying in this review when I reviewed this planner was that this would be a good planner if I ever worked full-time for myself. So I'm interested to see if that still holds true, because I made that statement before that was even well, it was clearly a thought, but before it was even a possibility, I guess. You know what? It may have been almost 3 years ago, because I'm pretty sure I reviewed these planners like pre-pandemic. So it must have been like the fall of 2019. That was a really long time ago. Because I do feel like by the fall of 2020, working for myself was a little bit more of a possibility. Anyways, I just scooted the camera up a bit so that you can actually see the whole thing. This is a large planner. Like, here is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper for comparison. It is only a little bit, lighting is not gonna cooperate with us today, is it? It's only a little bit more narrow width-wise and only a little bit shorter on the top. So it's pretty darn close to like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. It's a very large planner, but it is only for 90 days. It's pretty thin. Like it is, I would still consider this a pretty portable planner because it is very thin. It does have the wire-o binding, but I find that when the wire-o is small like this, it doesn't bother me near as much as when the wire-o is big, like on the Power Sheets products. So I'm excited for this. They have a handful of different color options. I remember last time I reviewed it, I got the pink, so this time I got the yellow. I love this bright color. It has a very hard cover, so I feel like this would be a very durable portable planner. But let's get the inside. The inside is what really matters. So the inside has this kind of pattern with their logo. Savor Beauty is the name of the company that created this planner. It is a beauty company, not a planner company, which is interesting. And I can already feel like the paper quality is not going to be it. It's not going to be as good as we are used to, and maybe that would be a massive turnoff for me, but I'm still excited to flip through this planner. So it says this planner is made up of 4 components: self-care first, 90-day vision, weekly and daily rituals, and organize your gorgeous chaos. So it starts with this sort of self-care section, like the tab says self-care at the top, and the pages that are the tabs are thicker than all the other pages. So I would enjoy writing on this page. This page, maybe not so much. So you've got self-care first, nourish or flourish, starts with your skincare, yourself, and then your soul. And then you've got another page, and we go into that kind of not as nice paper. I'm not going to read through all of the questions. I think that this beginning section could be helpful. It's kind of more about self-care, not really about goals. But I think if self-care is something that you struggle with, it could be beneficial for you. You've got questions about social, questions about your space. The theme here, clearly it's all starting with S. The paper's already bent because the paper quality is just not so great. Seeds, these are like things that you would do that might pay off later. And then savoring life, so savor daily. So things that you would want to savor daily, little like things that bring you pleasure daily, and then big life things, vacation, careers, buying a home, etc. Then you have structure. So they encourage you to come up with themes for each day. So their examples here are like Monday or money days, Tuesdays or passion project days. I got the concept. I think that if somebody is just getting started, especially if you're just getting started with goals, this is way too much. There's like way too much going on. So then we get into your 90-day vision. So you start with looking back. What have I learned? What's flowing? What's not flowing? What do I want to do the same or differently? I like that little bit of reflection, but not too much. And then moving on to your 90-day vision. In the next 90 days, I want to feel. In 90 days, I want to manifest. In order to manifest my 90-day vision, I will focus on. Again, pretty straightforward. Then you go into the weekly and daily rituals concept, and this is their process. So they have like a step-by-step process of how to plan your days and your weeks. So you start with detoxing your brain, really doing a brain dump, defining your priorities, figuring out your self-care, pulling the weeds, so like doing the tasks that you don't want to do, planting the seeds, so doing those things that you want to do to create future things, future goals, and then structuring your day. So then we go into an example week. So these are the pages that you're gonna have every single week, and they give you examples on how to do them, which I think is very cool. I'm not gonna review these with all the writing on it. I'm gonna review when we get to the blank, but I like that there are example pages, and maybe we'll flip back to those when we get to the blank versions. So then you get to what they consider the plan section. So again, you have a new page with a thicker cardstock. This planner is completely undated. And so while they do say it's for 90 days, it really covers 90 exact days. So there are actually 4 monthly layouts undated, because you could start this like the day I'm filming this is September 20th, right? I could make this September, do September 20th and go for 90 days. Now, most of us probably wouldn't do that. That would probably drive us bananas. And if we're gonna do 90 days, we're probably gonna start on the first of a month. So it might not be totally necessary to have this unless one of your months was February. Otherwise, I don't know that I would use 4 months, but I like that it's undated. It's even so like undated to the point that it doesn't have the days of the week at the top, which is really cool. A lot of people do debate between the Monday and Sunday, but if you're somebody whose weekend is Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe you start this on a Thursday because that's your Monday, right? And you want your weekend to be together. You could really put whatever days you want at the top. So you've got 4 of those monthly layouts, and then we get into the week. So each week has its own tab on the side. By the way, this planner, besides the example pages, completely and totally neutral, which is very nice. But like a nice dark color, like you can really see everything on the page. I just said that. I just said it was totally neutral, and then I looked down, and these little dots are like kind of a dark pink, light red, and so is this like hashtag self-care every day. So I completely lied. It's not totally neutral. It's pretty neutral. So you got week 1, you put the date at the top. Then it says opening ritual, set your intentions for the week or use a space for visioning page. That feels like way too much for every single week. Like I'm not about to do a vision board every single week. I don't know. I don't know. I would maybe use this page as like thoughts for the upcoming week. Like right during week 1, I might start to jot things down on week 2's page to think about it, but I don't know. Then we start their process, right? So you start with detoxing your brain. So dump out all of the things, the do this, do that, inner voices, and then a place that you could delegate this if you were able to. And then you pick your 3 priorities. Then self-care every day. How can you nourish to flourish this week? Then you have your actual weekly layout. And again, sorry, not neutral because there's like a light pink at the top. So you start by putting the days at the top, and you can circle the day, you can put the date. And then this top section, it's got 3 lines for AM rituals. Then you have a section for the weeds. So what are the things that you have to get done, even if you're not excited about it? How can you plant your seeds? So what are the tasks that you can do that are kind of planting those seeds, working on your goals, and then planning out your day? And it doesn't have like any hours. It's just got lines. So you could write down the things that you've got scheduled for the day. You could map it out hourly if you really wanted to. There's 14 lines. So it could either be 14 hours with single hours, or it could be 7 hours with half-hour time slots. So if you were using this as a work planner, that could be an option. And then you've got a section at the bottom for PM rituals. I think why I thought this could be a good work planner. First off, it does have, I'm going to turn the page. You have the same pages for all 7 days. Like you have the same amount of space, but you have 5 days by themselves. So you have 5 days that are kind of like, these could be your work days. And again, totally whatever days you want them to be. And so I could see, and like AM rituals is not like my personal AM, but it's like, what are my morning rituals for work? What are the weeds, the things I have to do? What are the seeds, like the big steps I can take? What are the things I have scheduled? And then what are my like work shutdown routines? I do still think this could be beneficial as a work planner. I think what's ironic is now that I do work for myself, I don't know if this is really enough space. Like it is big, but I don't know if it would be enough space for me. And then you have a whole note section over here on the side. Then you have it says weekend pleasures, but again, you could make it whatever 2 days you want. It looks the exact same. It's the same setup. It just has these 2 days over by themselves, which is interesting. Then it has like a weekly closing ritual. So I celebrate, what do I want to do the same or differently next week? That's right. There's like this whole other section that I was like, I don't know what I would use this for. Let's look at the example on this one. So you've got this, I understand up to this point. So then you've got these where it's kind of where you could take notes. So it says organize your gorgeous chaos. So extra to-dos, notes, meal planning. So if it's on a certain day, you can circle the day and then it's got space at the top for whatever it is. And then it's got this like kind of dark pink dot grid underneath it. And you can make a list of whatever it is. So some of their examples are like AM meeting for each of the days, self-care doesn't have a day, PM meeting for Monday, virtual happy hour for Wednesday. I see it. I understand what they're going for. I don't know that I would use this page or these pages every week. I apologize for the lighting on this. I'm doing my best, but the sun is in and out and it just doesn't want to stay consistent. All right, so then moving on, you have 2 more like thought pages. Yeah, maybe this is just a lot. I mean, I could see the value of yours. I don't know. I'm already feeling overwhelmed. Like there's way too many pages. Okay. So the way they have these examples, they have like meal prep and they've got their list of meal prep, mom. I think that's probably meant to be Gigi. It kind of looks like CC or Sissy. But it's like, what are the different things you want to do for that person? So it's kind of just to like organize things, like they say, into containers. So you've got 8 sections here with nothing but a line at the top and the dot grid that you could do whatever you want. Again, I feel like this is almost too many pages. And so for me, the other thing about like when it comes to work and organizing my business, I don't like to flip between things, right? So I like to have, like I would probably have it open at all times to this page, right? Each day with what I'm doing that particular day. But then I wouldn't want to have to flip back to these pages. I do make these kinds of lists all the time, but I have them on separate, like either it's its own sheet of paper, it's its own notebook, it's in its own place, so I'm not doing all this flipping back and forth. If you are somebody who like works in an office, I could maybe see the benefit of having it all together. But for me, being at home, like I could have different notebooks and different things everywhere. So I just don't know that I would use these pages. I cannot with the lighting. Okay, the lighting, of course, changed again. So we're doing our best here. Then we move into the week 2. And you do that same thing for every week for the entire quarter. Again, I see the benefits. I see how this could be useful. But now that I'm looking at it again, now that I have been working for myself for almost a year, that sounds bizarre to say. It's almost too much and too flipping back and forth. But I still want to show you this because maybe it would be absolutely perfect for you and your needs, whether it's for your goals. But looking at it again, also, like, I don't know if I can even really call this a goal planner because like it's got these pages at the beginning, but truthfully, it doesn't feel like a goal planner to me. It feels just kind of like a normal planner with some extra stuff that it encourages you to do, some extra mindset type things, ways to think about things that could kind of direct you towards your goals. But it doesn't have a lot of other like goal focused type things or type check-ins. So the other thing that I really struggle with this planner is it is meant to be a 90-day planner. So besides the weekly check-in, right, the end of every week, it does not have you check in on like a monthly basis. Like you just kind of after 4 weeks, right? You just kind of keep turning the page into the new weeks and not into a new, like you don't have a monthly check-in, which for you, that might work. Maybe you don't need a monthly check-in. Maybe that would feel like too much for you, but I like having a fresh start at the beginning of a month. So that would kind of not work for me with this planner. Okay, so then let's flip to the end. It goes through 12 weeks and then it's got this place at the end that says extra week, because in reality, if you're doing 90 days, it could be 12 weeks, it could be 13 weeks. It's really like 12 and a half. So it doesn't quite work to have 12. I don't know why they just don't put 13. Like, why does it say extra week and not have its own tab? I don't really know. Then you have a bunch of notes pages here at the back, which we will do a pen test here in a second. Then you have a reflection page at the end that's exactly the same as the beginning. So if you are moving into a new one of these, like if this is your planner and you're moving into a new 90-day version, then you don't really need to fill out this page because it's at the beginning of your next one. But if you aren't, it's kind of there as a reflection. Then it's got this cute page of planner stickers, which I actually think these are super cute. Y'all know I have not been using stickers lately, but I really love a lot of these, like cooking, cleaning day, workout with these little tennis shoes, all of these different colors. A point I like these like font ones. Then you've got a whole page with like skincare type stuff and bubble baths, tea and wine, paying bills. I love the stickers in the back. And then it's got a pocket in the back. It's very tight and it's just paper that could rip very easily depending on what you're trying to put in it. All right, let's use one of these notes pages as a pen test, and then I can leave it or I can just rip it out. I am planning to give away any of the planners that I'm not keeping for myself in the Patreon Facebook group. So if you're a member of Patreon, keep an eye out. If you're interested in winning any of these planners, head over to our Patreon group and join us over there. But I'm going to do a pen test, but I am planning to give this planner away. There's plenty of notes pages for you to continue to utilize. So we're going to start with the Flair, which is my favorite pen in the whole world. This is what I like to use if it is available to me, which depending on the paper quality, it isn't always. This is actually a pretty new one, so it's pretty narrow. Then we'll use the Sharpie pen, which is the other pen that I tend to use. I don't know why I started to write. I basically started to copy it and write paper. We'll just do that, and then Sharpie. If the Papermate Flair bleeds, then I use the Sharpie pen, although I don't like it near as much. And then the only kind of, I always forget what it's called, but the click type pen that I like is this one, but I really don't prefer to use this kind of pen. Really, at this point, there are so many great planners with great paper that, like, I should be able to use my Papermate Flair. Okay, so the paper, although smooth, like, everything dried pretty quickly, so that's not an issue. You know what? The Papermate Flair doesn't shadow as much as I thought it would. It does. There is a shadow. Like, there definitely, it doesn't bleed, but it definitely is a shadow. but the paper is pretty white, so that kind of helps it. Like, you can see it on camera, but it isn't super bad. And it's really just not that much worse than the Sharpie pen. And then the S gel definitely ridges to the other side. So it is not the greatest paper quality. If paper quality is of utmost importance to you, this planner is not going to be it for you. There's a lot of great things about this planner. I think there are a lot of positives. I think there's a lot that feels like too much, the things that I wouldn't use, but I'm glad that I took a look at it again, because I used to always think that it would be something I would use. You know what, while we're here, let's grab, this is the one I reviewed years ago. That was the pink one. Let's just like really quickly see. Yeah, it looks like nothing has changed. So I'll probably give this one away too. Like, it really looks to be the same planner. Again, it's not a planner company, so it doesn't surprise me that they don't kind of reiterate their planners. Did I even do a pen test on this one? No, because I probably was like, the paper is gross. Now, I will say the paper, it's kind of, well, it maybe has a slight yellow to the edges, because I think I've had this planner for a while. So just keep that in mind. Even the stickers are the exact same, y'all. Yeah, okay. So I will be giving both of these away, the pink one and the yellow one, in my Patreon Facebook group. All right, it's just after 3. I went ahead and got ready for dance, because I am filming some story clips for Instagram today and I needed to be ready to go. So I just went ahead and did that, since I didn't get ready earlier, since I basically cut my morning routine off. I also already have part of my costume on, because the neck for this costume is so hard to get over my head that I knew I was gonna mess up my hair putting it on. So I just went ahead and put it on before I did my hair. A little bit of a sneak peek. I also went ahead and checked with Jessina, who is the choreographer for the dance I'm in tonight. She's also a friend and a fellow YouTuber. If I could get a couple clips, a couple sneak peeks for you tonight at rehearsal, because it's costume week, which means that we wear our costumes at rehearsal to just see how they look with the dance and the choreography, make sure everything fits and flows well and all that jazz. So I'm just really excited to see this dance with costumes and grab you a couple clips of that. If you're watching this video before October 22nd, you can still come see our show if you are in or around New York City. It is so fun. It is family friendly, so if you have little ones that dance or are interested in dancing, you can always bring your little ones, and it's a good time. I'm just really excited about this dance. It is themed. I'm not gonna be able to play the clips with music, obviously, because it's gonna get copyright, because it is to 6, the musical. The Broadway show, so I'm just like, oh, it's just so fun. Anyways, so I am going to take this hour and get through my communication routine, my TikTok, maybe I'm still trying to figure that app out. And then I am also gonna film those Instagram story clips. And then I have that call at 4, and then we'll see how I'm feeling after that. Okay, it is about 4:30. So I did my meal plan. Yes, I'm still using Plan to Eat. Yes, I still love it. I will link the video. It was a favorites video that I originally talked about that in, and I will leave it linked down below. I think it's a referral code. You get a discount, I get a discount. I love Plan to Eat. I got through communication and TikTok, and then I also had this call. Here, I'll turn the camera around to tell you about that. If you have been around for a couple of months, you might remember that I did a workshop in July, and it was part in person, and then we had sort of a wine reception hangout afterwards, and then it was part virtual for those who weren't able to make it in person. And the space I did it at is actually owned by some friends of mine, and I absolutely adore them and loved working with them. And so we definitely wanted to get in another event before we moved, which that feels so bizarre to say out loud. Like, as of the time I'm filming this, we're at about 5-ish months from when we are leaving New York to move to Chicago. So I just had a call with my friend who is the coordinator of all of the different events or different performances at the space, and we picked a date. So I don't know if I will have shared this anywhere yet before here. I think by the time this video goes up, I will have shared this on Instagram or on a live or in Patreon, but it is going to be Saturday, January 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon. So if you are able to make it in person, it will be similar to last time. So we will do a workshop style learning session to start at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you can join that virtually from wherever in the world you are. So hopefully that time will be better for some of our friends over in Europe, as well as late enough for those of you over on the West Coast. And then if you are able to make it in person, either you live in the tri-state area, also hopefully during the day on a Saturday is a better time for some of you than the Friday night time slot was. And then we will have a kind of wine reception hangout. I might try and do something a little bit different than wine on a Saturday. I mean, I like wine on a Saturday afternoon, but it was different when it was like 8 p.m. on a Friday. So we'll figure that out when we get there, when we get closer to it, but just wanted to share it with you so you could save the date. All right, like I mentioned, it's about 4:30, so I have a pretty good amount of time before I have to leave for dance. I don't know that there's any other work things I'm gonna try to check off today. The number one thing I'm gonna try to do is unpack my suitcase from yesterday and tidy up. My office is a disaster right now. So I think I'm gonna spend the rest of my time kind of focusing on that, and then probably just kind of relaxing and eating dinner before I have to head to dance. All right, I am on my way home from the subway from dance. Dance was awesome. I'll pop in the clip here of a little sneak peek. Again, we're doing 6 on Broadway, 6 musical, so it's very much reminiscent of that. And Justina is just fabulous, and she's a great choreographer, a great teacher, and the dance, it looks awesome and it feels awesome, and the costume's great, and it was just a really good time. Just left the drugstore while some guy was almost getting arrested. He tried to steal a bunch of stuff, and the manager, or somebody stopped him, and the manager was basically yelling at him, telling him to empty out all the things from his bag or he was gonna call the cops. It's just a regular Tuesday in New York. It's funny because I usually get frustrated at the drugstores here because a lot of stuff is behind, like it's locked and you have to ask them to unlock it, but I understand why, I guess. So I had to swing by and get a birthday card for Sam. His birthday was actually yesterday, but him and I are celebrating tomorrow, and I'm kind of bummed because I was very, very excited to finally buy the husband birthday card section. Sorry, I'm walking by a bar and I feel weird vlogging. Hang on. Anyways, I was very excited to shop in the husband birthday card section. And first off, they really didn't have that many options. There were like 4 or 5 options, and most of them just didn't feel right. And even like the one that I was kind of considering was $8. When did cards get so expensive? So my first question for you is, where do you buy cards? I know that I can get the like dollar ones at Trader Joe's, but they're not always the best designs. And what's ironic is I was at a little boutique store with my mom over the weekend, and they had all these really cute cards, and they were either like $5 or $6, and I remember thinking like, wow, that's pretty expensive for a card. But then I was at the drugstore today and everything was like $7, $8. I finally ended up finding one that I liked for $5. Not in the husband section, in like the funny section. I got him a funny card. So anyways, that was my errand for the evening. Now it is almost 9 o'clock and I'm very tired, very ready to shower and wash my hair. So I am gonna go ahead and close out this video here so that by the time I get home, I can just shower, basically I'm gonna shower and go to bed. That's gonna be the end of my day. So hopefully you enjoyed coming along with me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, focused on helping you achieve your goals. Focus on my face. Thank you so much for watching. So then after, wow, that was weird. Sit on the couch. I almost knocked my coffee over. Self-care first. I hate the lighting today. Tuesday, that doesn't make any sense again. Reflection, why can't I say that word?